killer confesses to another local murder. Lewis Lent, who is currently serving 2 life sentences for abducting and killing a 12-year-old Pittsfield boy and a 12-year-old girl from Frankfort, now has confessed to the 1992 killing of Jamie Lusher. Lusher was 16 years old at the time of his abduction. He was riding his bike at the time from his father's house in Westfield, Massachusetts, to his grandmother's house about 10 miles away when he disappeared. From behind bars, Lewis Lent has now admitted to killing Lusher and dumping his body in the Greenwater Pond. That's in the town of Beckett in Berkshire County. Dive teams will be in the water there first thing tomorrow. Jennifer Lukey joining us now live here in our studio. Jen, you spoke with Lusher's family today. I've got to imagine that they're hoping that recovering Jamie's remains will bring them some closure after so many years.
Well, that's what they're hoping for, Dory, but they are very cautious, as they should be, about believing Lewis Lent. Lent promised the parents of Sara and Wood that he would lead them to her body as well, and all he did was send them on a wild chase around the Adirondacks. Lent is spending his life behind bars regardless, so in this case, the district attorney offered him immunity from prosecution in this case if he could lead them to the boy's remains.
After 21 years and more than 15 interviews with investigators, Lewis Lent confessed to killing 16-year-old Jamie Lusher. The abduction happened while the boy, who was small for his age, was riding his bike to his grandmother's house.
After getting the details of Lewis Lent's confession, the investigation was then reopened from beginning to end. And all those little pieces of information that were gathered over the years now fit in, now made sense.
For Lusher's family, it could be the closure they've so desperately wanted.
I talk about this. I think about this every day.
Jamie's dad says his son left the house that night upset because he wasn't allowed to go on a mountain bike race. It's something that has haunted him ever since.
And because of his mindset that evening, he was a perfect target for Lewis Lent, for a monster like him.
While the family is hopeful, they're extremely cautious about whether the information Lent is providing is in fact truthful. Lewis Lent promised the family of Sara Ann Wood that he would lead them to her body.
Why don't you tell them where the body is?
But after months of searching, her remains were never recovered.
I watched on television. I was like, he's sending these people on a goose chase. No, digging here, digging there. I mean, I could have found gold faster than they could have found her, and it's sad. It's sad to get a parent's hopes up. Now we get our hopes up,
right.
Like, you know, they're going to find something, and what if we don't? You know what I mean? And then you're back to where you were before.
There were specific indicators to us that maybe this time it was the time that Mr. Lent really kind of wanted to clear his conscience and give us a broader understanding of what happened.
For the sake of Jamie's family, investigators are hoping that is truly the case.
The situation that Lewis Lent is in now is fine with me, as long as he's in a little cage with no involvement with anybody else, and I said that the only reading material that I would provide for that man is the Holy Bible.
Greg and Dory, dive teams from both Massachusetts and New York State Police will be at the pond tomorrow. Now, this pond is more like a small lake, though. There are parts of it that are 58 feet deep, so it's definitely an uphill battle trying to find any remains at this point.
Yeah, I saw what it looks like. It really looks like a lake. And then we're talking 20 years in the water. Are police worried that it may be hard to find something after all that time?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty honest about the challenge moving forward. But, you know, I talked to Jamie's family today, and Jamie's sister actually still has the box that the shoes came in that he was wearing. And they're rubber soled. They say they're supposed to last 30, 40 years. So they're hoping, if not physical remains, maybe clothing or shoes or something that will put him at that lake at that time. Yeah.
And of course, talking about Lewis Lent here, 3 child murders that we're talking about that he's confessed to at this point. I've got to imagine police are concerned that maybe he could be connected to more.
Yeah, they won't get into the specifics of it, but today at the press conference, we asked that question, and they said that they are continuing to talk to him. They are continuing to gather evidence in other missing children cases to see if anything lines up. In this case, they're hoping that he's telling the truth in this point, but, you know, I was a reporter in central New York during the Sara Ann Wood case, and, you know, I saw the family get their hopes up every time, so I'm really feeling for this family. I'm hoping that, like they said, they're hoping this time he's telling the truth.
I think we all are. After seeing them on video like that, we all are. All right. Thank you, Jen.